Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining today. Today, I want to talk to you about one thing that I walk all of my clients through when we first get started together that can help them start to feel a greater sense of financial calm, financial freedom overnight, literally overnight. Okay? And so we're gonna go through sort of a three-step process. You like my Band-Aid? I cut my finger. We're gonna go through a three-step process for how to start to cultivate some of those feelings ourselves in a really short period of time to go from feeling really stressed about our finances to starting to have some more of those sort of calm, relaxed feelings around our finances. Okay, so say hello if you are here. For those of you watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and give the video a like if this is something you're excited to learn more about. Okay, so here's the thing. When we are thinking about this sort of ultimate goal of debt freedom, right? We can sort of get sucked into all the things that we want to do when we're debt free, what we want to spend our money on, right? The things that we get excited about, the vacations, the newer car, the home upgrades, right? And there's nothing wrong with any of that. Okay, but here's what I find again and again. A lot of times when we get started, oh, hey, Denise. Oh, thank you. She said she loves my glasses. Thank you very much. When we get started sort of on this journey and really thinking about, okay, debt freedom, what does debt freedom mean to me? What is it, what is it that that's going to afford my family and my future? Moving forward, right? We get caught up in some of those bigger things, the big dream, and there's nothing wrong again with the dream. But what we forget is that there's actually a lot of skills, there's a lot of maintenance, there's a lot of hard decision making that still comes with money when we get to that sort of place of being debt free. Okay, and so there's a lot that we have to develop. There's a lot that we have to learn. There's a lot that we have to be, really thoughtful about when it comes to our money on the way to debt freedom, so that when we're there, we're also able to maintain that. Okay, I know there's some people who are watching who have had debt freedom in the past, and now they find themselves with a $20,000 loan or credit cards, and they have that sense of, oh, we had it and then we went right back in, right? So it's so important that we have this sort of sense of, okay, we're developing the skill set, we're going to get to the point of debt freedom, and we're going to stay there, and that's a skill set that we're going to spend time, right, developing. So one of the ways that we can start to get there quickly is to really get clear on what it is that we want from debt freedom, and not the things, not what the money is going to buy necessarily, but the feelings that we want to have. And a lot of times the most common feeling that people desire is that a sense of freedom, right? Being able to breathe, being able to feel confident that their plan is working, a sense of being able to just relax about money because they know that the pieces are in place and the most important things are going to be taken care of. Okay, so I think it's really important for the individual to actually go through this as an exercise and really get clear about what is it that you actually want when it comes to financial freedom. What is it that you actually want when it comes to your money? And then actually take a look at, what are we doing today that is supporting that, and what are we doing today that is contradicting it, right? Because there are things that we can start doing today to mimic that what we actually want lifestyle overnight. And there are things that we are doing today that are probably significantly contradicting that, like I just said. Okay, so here's the exercise. I want you to start with, I don't know why I have to look at my notes for this. Start with a blank piece of paper. Step one, okay? So step one, I want you to start, if you're a journaler, write fresh page in your journal or a blank piece of paper, or those of you who like to do this digitally, write a blank Google Doc and just start brain dumping, brainstorming. What is it that you actually want when it comes to financial freedom? So when you think about a day of complete financial freedom, what does that look like? How do you feel? What do you want? And what does, you know, what do the purchases throughout the day feel like for you? What do they look like? What are you excited to spend money on? What is your family spending money on? What are you choosing not to spend money on? What does it feel like? How do you wake up in the morning? How do you go to bed at night? Okay, so you are just going to write down everything that sort of accompanies this this dream, this ideal of being financially secure, being financially free, whatever you want to call it, whatever that is for you. How do you feel on that day, right? In that moment, really sitting with it and writing those things down. Okay, so that's part one. Now, I want you to go through those things and I want you to circle the 2 or 3 things that stand out to you as the most important. Okay, so it might be something that you're choosing to spend money on that you feel really good about, that seems really important to you. It might be something that you feel, okay? Katie says, love those glasses. Thank you, so many compliments. I'm in need of a brain dump. Oh my gosh, I know. Sometimes we know it's a good idea, and this is across the board. This is not just for our finances, right? This is for everything. This is for our relationships. This is for our health, right? And just like our mind gets so jumbled with all the things. So just dumping it all down. Great idea. Thank you. So go back through that list, right? Now that you've done the brain dump, go through and just circle those 2 or 3 most important things. And so, I did this exercise with a client the other day, and, she wrote down sort of what financial freedom meant to her, right? And when she went through the list of things that she wanted to spend money on when she was financially free, every single one of those things that was on the list, she was already spending money on. And so there was no lack, right? But the trouble, the frustration, what she identified was that she didn't know if it fit in the plan. She didn't know if it was okay to spend money on those things. She didn't know if she was saving money fast enough, or if she was investing enough, or if she was paying off her debt fast enough. Like, there were all these sort of unknowns when it comes to sort of the big financial questions: savings, debt, investments, right? And so instead of what she realized is that she wasn't actually going to change her lifestyle that much, but it felt like there was such a gap between now and financial freedom, financial security. What it really came down to was her belief in what she was doing was working. What she was doing was right, right? And how many times can I say right? There's no right one thing for all of us, but there's a one right thing for you. And that's what I like to help my clients figure out. Okay, so once you've sort of pinpointed, here are the few things that when I think about financial freedom, whether that's going to be 6 months from now or 6 years from now, whatever the case may be, when you pinpoint the 2 or 3 things from that brain dump that really resonate the most with you, I want you to write 2 to 3 sentences about each of those things, okay? I want you to really ask yourself, why is this important? And what is the feeling sort of that is associated with either having that feeling? I know it's a little redundant, but kind of peel back the onion one more layer, or that purchase, right? What is the feeling associated with that purchase? So let's say you do your brain dump, and the things that most resonate with you are being able to travel with your family. Maybe you say like Disney or a beach vacation, something like that. And maybe you say home repairs, okay? And those are the 2 that resonate that you really want to do. And when you look and when you kind of think about them a little bit more thoughtfully, Disney, family vacation, beach vacation, it's easy for you to resonate with because it means more intentional time with your family and doing something together, right? And so, yeah, of course we all want to do the vacation. That's amazing. But are we making the time now to do things intentionally together? Are we creating experiences? Are we putting something in our plan each month right now that is actually creating those feelings attached with spending quality time on a vacation together? or maybe you want to go do a getaway with you and your spouse. Is there a way that you can start to implement that now that doesn't require financial freedom? Okay. And then the other one, home repairs, right? This was something that came up a lot in the a question I posed about what are some purchases that you're putting off. A lot of times it's those home repair things, or something, you know, for yourself that you is broken and it kind of feels like an unnecessary purchase, but in actuality it's one of those annoyances that we're putting off. So like getting new glasses or new shoes if you really need them, or replacing the light bulbs, or in my case it's a toilet seat. Like, not the end of the world, but you know, when something's broken and you kind of like shift your body or like dodge it so you don't like hurt yourself or get uncomfortable, like we're all doing that with the toilet seat. And so I know I'm going to get the new one and sit down and be like, oh my gosh, like, what is this, heaven? Right? Because it's the only one I use these days in the shutdowns. Um, but so like when the closet light is out and you kind of adjust to having to like move out of the way to let the other light into the closet, when you just change the light bulb, all of a sudden it's like life is so much easier. But you catch yourself straining your neck and you're like, why did I do that? Oh yeah, I needed to let the other light come in from behind me. So just taking care of those silly little things, being mature, handling the sort of slight annoyances and frustrations as they come up, and not just putting them off, putting them off, putting them off, because it's so easy to do that. Okay. And I, for one, am totally that person that puts off getting the light bulbs, puts off getting the toilet seat. Hello, it's been like 8 months literally since that thing broke. And I should say it's functional, it's just slightly uncomfortable. Um, so yeah, so if house repairs are one of the things where you feel like we're just going to be able to take care of stuff for the house when it comes up, um, are you doing that now? Like, is that something, when something comes up that you want to just fix quickly, are you putting in the effort to do it even when it's just a $5 light bulb? Or, you know, I don't know how much toilet seats are. Let's say it's like $50. I don't know. Are you just taking care of it, putting it in your plan for the coming month, dealing with it, and letting go of kind of the drama of holding on to it month after month after month? Now, I want to be very clear. There's not a lot of drama around the toilet seat, but if there's a fence that needs to be mended, or if there's, you know, part of your property that was destroyed that needs to be fixed, if like your mailbox has been dented for the last 5 years, like, are there things that you just kind of let sit that you really actually want to take care of, but in your mind it's not a priority, or you know, you're better off spending the money somewhere else? Let me be very clear about something. Probably the money is going somewhere else, and it doesn't fall on your list of priorities. It isn't falling on that brain dump of things that are really important to you. So, you know, maybe what you put on your, you know, priority list has nothing to do with grabbing convenience food because I don't have time to cook, right? But in fact, the money that would easily repair the fence, easily pay for the new mailbox, easily buy the glasses or the bathing suit or the shoes or whatever it is that we're lacking that we really want and we keep putting off, instead it's just going to convenience because we don't have a plan, because we don't actually know what we want, because we're not actually working towards something. Okay? So it's a quick activity, but when we write out what we want to do and we can identify what we're not doing now, we can actually start to replace those things with something that we do want. And we can start to create that faith in ourselves that we can do the things that matter to us, that we can spend our money on things that are important to us again and again and again, and we can maturely and intentionally choose not to spend money on things that don't align with our plan. I'm not saying cut out any unnecessary spending. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we're being intentional all the time, and we can make choices all the time. I don't care if I think it's unnecessary or not. It's your intentional choosing that is going to drive you towards this aligned financial free day one day. Okay. So what can you shift in your current plan? And, you know, are you just, I don't know, I guess if you wish your progress were going faster right now towards what it is you actually want, right? What are a couple of things that you can just start to shift so that you start to feel like you are in that place of financial freedom? Because you are making choices that are aligned with that day that you can sit with of being completely financially free. Okay. So, again, a lot of times being financially free doesn't just matter to us because the debt is gone, right? It matters to us because we are confident in our ability to spend our money. We're confident in our ability to choose what we're doing with our money day in and day out. We are creating that evidence that we are good with money. We are deciding that we are good with money. And we are doing what it takes every single day to start to get a little bit better, right? I'm gonna do a whole series on this in a month or two. I'm not sure when I'm gonna do it, but just on money and stress, right? And this whole idea of avoidance and like not opening up our bills, not looking at our checking account balance, right? And how that just perpetually makes things worse and worse. But if we can just start to create little habits that are presenting as I'm good with money and I care about my finances and I'm going to start to do what it takes, even if it doesn't mean my debt's going to go from here to here. Whoops, you can't see that, here to here, right? All the way down. At least we are starting to create those habits. We're starting to live that life of financial freedom where we have a plan, we are intentional about what actually matters to us about our money, and we are clear about what we want in the future. Okay. So it was a little bit of some like meta thinking about money today. But I think that it's a really good activity. If anything, if you just take away, right, let's sit down, let's write out what is it that we actually want out of financial freedom. That day when you pay off the last thing and everything in your money world is feeling right, what does that feel like? Okay. Because I want to end with one more thing here. Just because the debt is gone doesn't mean that everything's okay. Okay, it doesn't mean that. And so we've got to enjoy the process of getting there and learn on the way so that when we're there, we're enjoying the process of now saving money and spending money on things that matter to us. Like it's all one process. It's not like a get there and we're done. Okay? So, how can you start to really get aligned with what matters to you? What do you want from money now and start to live that? And the byproduct of that is going to be you reaching financial freedom over time. Okay, you guys, that is it for today. I will see you next week. Bye for now.